G'day mate and welcome back to Capital History with me, Jitty. After our last couple of episodes where I was playing with my wood, I was making sure that I had a big, strong, long wood. I've worked up an appetite, so it's time to get back to dealing with stackaroos. We need to make sure that all the stackaroos are sorted. We need to make sure all the belts are working. We need to go through the comments from, the last episode where I was playing with belts and, talk to you guys about your many suggestions of how I did it wrong and prove to you that I probably did it wrong. Yep. At the same time, whilst dealing with food, actually, that's probably really the biggest plan. That's the biggest plan for today's episode. I need to deal with food. I need to deal with food in a big way, because technically we're still trucking everything down from the edge of the crater, well, the upper lower crater, yep, all the way down to the inside of the crater, which is causing a lot of truck transport. And I don't like truck transport. I prefer it if the trucks are digging and dumping. So that's going to be today's plan. But before we get to that, and before the fog fully rolls in, I need to ask the very important question, of course. That is, can I borrow a like? Can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like early in the video. If you're not happy with the video, you didn't enjoy the video, well, I don't know. You can't have any of my stackaroos. Also, you couldn't play with my wood. You just can't have anything. You're a mean person. As always, at the start of every episode, I like to thank those that go above me on it, those that choose to support the channel. And today, I need to thank a wonderful Patreon member. I need to thank the wonderful Gunther. Gunther, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you for choosing to keep the dream alive. And thank you most of all for, choose to support the channel. Yeah, choose to support the channel. Choose to become a truck. Choose to become part of the coal team, which is good because we're never going to stop digging up coal. We're still burning coal on all those furnaces, which I probably should upgrade, but we'll worry about that later. All right, first thing I need to deal with is this. We're going to build some of these so we can actually see what the hell they're doing a little bit easier. And I had many comments about how I did this wrong. Many of you said that I should take the lower belts and I should keep them lower, and I should take the first belt and keep it to the left, and take the second belt and take it to the hard right, and have the upper belts go to the middle and all sorts of things. But the biggest issue I had, and one of the problems with what I designed, is this belt right here, this belt right here. This belt right here needs to work. There. That belt needs to come through that gap. It needs to come straight through that gap, because they also need to deal with the flat belts. The flat belts also need to stay somewhat together, because we need to deal with sorting out the flat belts as well. So please be patient. Let me use the power of movie magic, because I don't get to use this power very often. Thanks to the power of movie magic, I have the updated design. The updated design, we're going to just rebuild. We're not going to question how it got unbuilt. It's fine. Yes, the updated design. Yeah, the updated design is, similar to what we had originally, but it's also slightly different. So we still have our first belt. Our first belt goes to our first belt. Nice and simple. Our first upper belt goes in the second belt, whereas the third belt, the first upper belt, second upper belt comes to the hard side, because that left me a gap to get that belt through, which also means that my second lower belt, zigzagged over one tile and popped through. That was the best solution I could come up with, because that definitely means that I have enough room to run those two flat belts together, because I will need to have them sorted as well. Don't forget, on our farms, we're going to be planting every different type of food there is, but veggies and fruit are still going to be on a belt together. Well, they're still going to be on the flat belts. So I still need to deal with the flat belts as well, and I need to sort them out as well later. So that's the first thing I had to do. Also, there's been many comments about many other things, so let's dig through some of those comments right now. So first off, I need to deal with wood. It has been commented that I have wood right here that also needs to... you're not going to work very well. Yeah, you're going to have to... Wood is going to have to go to this box, I think. No. Wood. Yeah, wood's gonna have to go to this box here. We did have wood being collected from, wood from this forestry area. Was being collected, right here in these two boxes. We can't do these two boxes anymore. In fact, I pretty much can't put wood into our box inside the crater anymore, mainly on the fact that it's always going to be full. Like, I guarantee you, because it's now belt fed, it's going to be full at all times. So these need to go elsewhere. They need to find an alternative route to get into the crater. So I have, well, this farm. This farm, I've moved their wood box over here. And I've run, not a goat belt. I didn't want to have a goat belt. I did want to skim the edge a little bit, mainly because, well, we have a little bit of a width problem. If we look right here's probably the best example. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles, 6 tiles. That's all the space I have for trucks to get through here. Little trucks, get back here. They find that very easy to get through. Bigger trucks, where's the bigger truck? Bigger truck. Bigger trucks are already finding that very tight. Big trucks need 5 tiles. 5 tiles to get through some spots, any spot. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4 on the diagonal. It's very close to start with. So I chose to run the belt just hanging off the edge a little bit, and it's of course going to come across here and go through a balancer. It does have the priority input from, you know, the box. That belt moves 60. Let's crank you up to 200. And it does mean that probably my best option for these boxes is have them all export for right at the moment into this box, and then come through here as a priority input into the main wood belt. Now, don't get me wrong. I should, and I agree fully, run this box or its pseudonym, because we might end up moving it up here on the flat just to make my life a little bit easier, and run that wood belt, well, through to here and merge it in here somewhere. But there's 2 catches with that. The 2 catches being, one, well, balances. I have to build these on the flat, which is okay. I could probably work out, like, right about here, I could build this on the flat. I'd have to rearrange some bolts. But in update 2, because the devs have already said in the next update, we're going to be able to actually build these up in the air, which would have made my life a whole lot easier. But we're not playing update 2 yet. Don't ask me when update 2 is coming out. I don't know, but I'm excited. I'm excited for just that little change. That little change to be able to build balances and sorters and all sorts of things up the air is going to make my life and your life easier. So we might just have this one and this one, through the power of movie magic, get moved over here at some stage and run a belt. I do have room to run a belt right through the middle of the oil refinery without too much difficulty, I think, but it's not going to happen right now. So that's one thing that has definitely been done. Probably helps if I build that. Now it's saturated. And you are a priority in from, well, that belt that is coming from that wooden box. Yep. So that's going to be the first thing I need to do. As I work my way around the map, there's a second thing I have to do, and the second thing I have to do is we have this sand. This sand, also this hydrogen, also this diesel. They're goating their way down here. Now, the diggy team is very pedantic about wanting to dig things. As you can see, they're complaining up here. So I put in some new goat belts and some goat pipes. First off, we have the hydrogen goat pipe, which, well, just gets the hell out of the way, pretty much. Also means that I can disconnect that. Cool. With that disconnected, hydrogen can now flow the other way. Helps if I build that one single pipe there. All right, diesel. Actually sand. Let's do sand. Sand I took off here, and same story, it got the hell out of the way, which means I can disconnect that belt, and eventually the sand belt will dry up, and we can run the sand this way. The sand came, well, pretty much the same way as the hydrogen. Goated down the mountain, all good and proper. Also did a loop-de-loop around the one tree that's left for the reason of why the hell not. And plugs in right about here. Helps if I build that last belt. Okay, which left diesel. Diesel was a whole separate issue. Diesel, I didn't do anything smart with. In fact, we can disconnect diesel all the way up here. Because I found a different way to bring in diesel. Diesel comes in from this side. Build. Please tell me that pipe's going the right way. I hope it is. It's not. Rotate. Cool. Diesel. Diesel comes in from here. As you can see, it snakes its way through just about everything, and then comes to our giant ramp. Our giant ramp that we're meant to be using to bring all the resources up and down, which is technically where sand needs to come. Also, it's where hydrogen needs to pop over here as well and come down here properly. They'll get to it in the future. Also pops around here and sort of does the, I don't even know what to call this. the mistake around the outside of the retaining walls. Because remember how I mentioned that trucks need 5 tiles? I have exactly 5 tiles through here. Which, oh, perfect example. Get back here, you. Cool. He doesn't have a lot of room. So if I put the pipe through here, which I should have done to make it neat, then, well, it would block off all big truck access, which means I need to set you to off. Yeah, I need to empty this bucket. To empty this bucket, I need to empty this bucket, which means I need to empty this bucket, which means I need to empty this bucket. Yeah, I could use the power of uni and just make the problem go away, but, well, we're just going to have all the gold get dumped in this side for a little bit, and eventually it'll burn through, hopefully. I think I can pause that, and that stops resources moving through it. I'm not sure. But hopefully that'll fix that problem. Yes. Also means back to our diesel pipe. Our diesel pipe pops all the way up here, all the way over here, all the way over here, where it meets this fuel station, where it disappears underground and does a loop through the rest of the map, all the rest of the map, all the way back to here. Which means it's now supporting a lot of diesel, which means it's time for an upgrade. We're going to upgrade that whole pipe. Good luck to the poor team that needs to get underground to upgrade all that. We're also going to upgrade that pipe. And that's all of it. Now, unfortunately, it pops into the ground through this periscope that I'm not particularly happy with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the inner team who's bored and have them pop over here and just deal with that problem. Also, we're going to grab, I don't care about that building pillar, we're going to grab the edging team who is always bored unless they are, edging something. And we're going to have them come over here. Because I found over here, there's a patch of ground. There's a patch of ground that doesn't have any copper in it. Doesn't have any resources whatsoever. So we're going to send the edging team to come work on this edge of the crater. Now, what am I going to do with this edge? I don't know. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. Maybe we'll just fill in more of the sea that we don't really need to fill in more. But maybe we'll plant trees down here. Maybe that'll be the exact thing we do. We'll put trees in the crater. Maybe we'll put the town in the crater. Maybe we'll put food processors in the crater. I don't know, but we're going to clear the space because we can. All right, we have a low supply of glass still, which is slowly filling up. It'll get there eventually. We have the Tomb of Captains, which needs 1,000 glass. I'm going to choose to spend my glass on construction parts. Farms instead. I want that pipe to go to there. And honestly, that's all I needed. Cool. Inner team is now bored again. Of course you are. Go help out these guys. Cool. And that means I'm going to find you. No, you. You are bored. You are a dirt tower. Dirt tower can come here. And we are going to just re-dirty up this area just a little bit. There to there to there. Sure. Do I want to move that pipe? If I run that pipe to there, and then to there, that bridge would have to go there. And that means anybody who wants to go straight through could go straight through. Yeah, let's do that at the same time. Build that, build that, build that, build that, unbuild that, and unbuild that. You managed to pick the one spot. The one spot. Okay, hang on. We're going to put dirt right there. If we're going to put dirt right there, can I... Quick, run away before I block you back in. Holy truck train. Flat up. Yeah, I'm confident in that. Okay. Can I find that dirt towel? Dirt towel. Can I get you to do all of this? Okay, you guys can't get to copper for just 1 minute. But that should just take a minute for them to fill in. Can I put that through at that angle? Yeah. Alright, so that's neating that up. That hydrogen pipe is already empty. That diesel pipe is already empty. Ooh. Please tell me everything stays connected on the ground. It does, cool. And that sand belt is also empty. Cool. So that tidies up that. It means we can start digging out this corner should we want to dig out this corner. We also know about that pillar again. I could not store all the flowers after harvest. Upgrade. Problem solved. Okay. And what dump truck can't reach what destination? You can't get to the copper bucket. Pretty sure you can. Try again. Think long and hard about this. How do you feel about it now? Okay, can I get you to fill that angle as well? Because if you fill this angle and then you fill that angle, you end up with a perfect inside triangle, I guess you could call it. A perfect ramp on that inside side, and that should give us full green. That's what I'm looking for, full green. Okay, cool. You guys need to go put dirt somewhere else. I don't know where that is, but that's not my problem. All right, low supply of rubber. We sort of know about that. That's not going up as fast as I'd like. We're going to build that rubber plant, also upgrade that belt, and done. All right, so we've done some tidy up. We've done some fixing. We've done a few things. I have a lot of glass. I have a lot of construction parts, which means upgrade, build. What's the cost to, well, that's the wrong button. How much glass do you need? 320. 1, 2, 600, 3. Yeah, you got 290 glass. Okay, that's us done. All right, so that's those things done. All right, we finally come back to food. Well, 15 minutes in, it's all right. I don't get sidetracked at all. All right, food. We're going to very quickly go over the rules once again. Okay, the rules for food is we need to sort everything. We need to sort everything off these 4 belts. Super important. Everything must be sorted off these 4 belts. We're going to make also the flat belts. Technically 6 belts. All right, that is rule number 1. Rule number 2 is everything needs an overflow. Soybean. Soybean comes in here. Soybean heads into making tofu. It also has an overflow. So once the bucket is full, it'll overflow out this belt. Once it overflows out that belt, it goes into this balancer, which has a priority out to come over here, which will go into this bucket and mix with this bucket into this belt, which will come over here to make cooking oil. Soybean can also be used in cooking oil. So that is, it has an overflow. It also has an overflow to the overflow, which is a belt that goes out there. We'll deal with that belt and talk about that belt in the future. Bottom iron. Oh, okay. Well, that should be an easy fix. Dig 2 tiles. Go for it. Okay. So rule number 2, overflow. Rule number 3, nothing can stop moving. So there should be no time ever where these 4 belts stop moving, i.e. you can't have it back up, you can't have it sit there, you can't have it, take a couple of minutes to sort some items out. All the belts are probably going to have to be upgraded to at least tier 2, if not tier 3, including these other feeder belts. They're all going to have to get upgraded. There's going to be a whole lot of belt upgrades, but we will worry about those in the future. Number 4, there is 5. Even though we're on rule 4, there are 5 external inputs. We have sulfur and limestone, which goes into tofu. We also have water, which goes into, well, tofu and a whole bunch of other things. We also need plastic for stackaroos. Stackaroos are that belt. Stackaroos. Plastic for stackaroos. We also need salt. Salt goes into stackaroos. It also goes into meat. It goes into a few different things in the food category. So they are our 5 external inputs. And then rule number 5 is expect spaghetti, because there's going to be a lot of spaghetti as we get this stuff built. An awful lot of spaghetti. Okay, so in our upgrade, now changing our lead-in belts, I managed to save 3 tiles, so everything got slid over just a little bit matters, possibly. You're going that way. Oh, no. Yeah, no, this is going to get blocked off. Trucks are not going to have access. Even down this side. No, I don't think you're going to have access. You might have access, but I doubt you're going to have access. We'll see. All right, so that is our 5 rules. Now, we have tofu. We have tofu first. Because main reason we have tofu is it needs sulfur and limestone. It's also the only thing that needs sulfur and limestone. So once we've brought in sulfur and limestone and we've built tofu, that's it. It's dealt with. We don't have to come back to it. I don't have to worry about it. All right. Next thing we have is cooking oil. Cooking oil is our second item. And, well, cooking oil because it's canola also means that I'm done with canola. I don't have to worry about canola anymore. Canola is done. It's dusted. All right. Number 3, the third one that we have sort of put together is sugar. Because sugar cane only turns to sugar. Once it's turned to sugar, I don't have to worry about sugar cane anymore. Technically, sugarcane doesn't have an overflow, but we'll worry about that in the future. All right. Also means that corn. Corn goes directly after that. So can I copy you and put you here? And we're going to set you to corn because although sugar goes into making antibiotics, which we sort of need, I think I'm going to build medical... Maybe not directly part of this build, maybe adjacent to this build, undecided, but we'll worry about that in the future. But ethanol. Ethanol uses the sugar. It's one of the main things that use sugar. Also, cake uses sugar, as do the antibiotics, as I just mentioned. But corn also goes into corn mash, which we can also turn to ethanol. So that means this bucket is corn. This bucket is corn, which will go into here. Here, cool. So that's corn, okay? It also means corn's technically sort of dealt with, not really dealt with, because corn also goes into snackaroos. So snackaroos becomes the very next build right after our ethanol, because that way we can take our corn and we can plug it into there. I'm not going to plug that in right now because the other thing that goes in here is potatoes. So that means I need another magic sorter, which will go in here, and you shall be potato. Potato. Actually, can we... Yes, can I build there to there to there to there, plus that, and that, and that. And can I get these buckets built? Cool. All right, so with those 2 done, that is corn and potato both dealt with. Also, corn and potato both go directly to the town. So at this point in our magic sorting of belts and stuff, they're dealt with. There should be none left. Now, in saying that, there's going to be overflows. We're going to get to the overflows eventually, but they should be dealt with. The one after that, so the sorter after that we need to deal with is going to be wheat. Wheat. Wheat goes into, where is it? Right there. Wheat goes into bread. Bread, which goes... Oops. This is why I copy things. Because if I cut things, bad things happen. Okay. Wheat goes into flour. So wheat can only go into flour. It has other things we can do with it, but its main purpose is going to flour. Also, our flour does go into a few things. Our flour goes into cake, which we need to worry about. Also goes into sausages. So that's where our wheat's going to go. Also means that at this point, wheat is done. It's no longer on our magical 4 belts of mystery. After we have wheat, we're going to be putting in cake, which is that one, right? Yes, that one. Main reason cake's going to go in next is 1, it deals with the wheat. Yep. Also 2, it deals with cooking oil. So cooking oil goes into snackaroos. Yep. Also goes into cake. So at this point, we're done. We're done with cooking oil. Cooking oil doesn't have to go anywhere else. We do have to have an overflow for it. Main reason we have to have an overflow for cooking oil is, going back 5 steps, is canola. Canola can only get turned to cooking oil. So if I end up with too much canola on the belts, I need to make sure it all gets converted to cooking oil. If I end up with too much cooking oil, I need to dispose the cooking oil. So cake is next. Also means when we're done cake, it means the fruit belt, being these flat belts here, which will have fruit on them and veggies, can come through. They can get split off. They can be sorted here at cake, and they can be dealt with. And also, technically, they get delivered directly to the town. So at that point, we're done with those. All right. After that, I need to rearrange some things. Can I cut you and put you here? After that, I need meat. Okay. Meat. No, I need meat. I need sausage meat. We're going to do sausage meat next. Okay. After that, we have sausage meat. Reason we have sausage meat is a few. One is flour. So flour, which we made here. Flour, which we made here, has been used here. It's also getting used in the very next step. It also means that we're done with flour. So flour is off our list of things that we need to carry forward, because I have all the raw food at the back, and I have this gap in here to carry forward things. Also to deal with the intermediates that need to travel from build to build to build to build. So at this point, we're done with flour. Also, we're not quite done with salt, but we're getting close. I don't have meat trimmings, so we sort of need to work out that problem. What is that? That is rubbish. That is also rubbish. That is also rubbish. Okay. So then I need to have meat. Now, meat is a little bit special. We have our meat input belt. Our meat input belt, which is going to bring in chicken carcasses down here at the bottom, and they're going to flow into making meat. Now, they flow past these buildings first. Which turn chicken carcasses and meat trimmings. But they're designed to feed everything into the making of meat buildings, and then only if they're backed up, i.e. we have too much meat being fed to the people, and the chicken carcasses have nowhere to go, they can come into these ones, and then they'll make meat trimmings. Meat trimmings will come out the front. As we can see, there is a balancer here, which means the meat trimmings that are already coming out from the meat build gets prioritized out first, and then these guys to supplement. So it means that meat becomes the first meat, and then meat trimmings becomes the second meat out of the meat builds. We're with me now? Cool. Got hold of your meat? Excellent. All right. So that goes in there. Also means that I haven't dealt with it yet, and we're going to need to deal with it right about now. No, this should fit. I need chickens, because I don't have chickens. Therefore, I don't have meat. I also don't have eggs to make cake. So we need to put chickens right there. So that is our chicken farms. All right. The other thing that I haven't put down at all... Oh, God, the trucks are doing some awesome things. Can I cut that? Flip that. Put that there. No. Cut that. Put that there. Lastly on our list is going to be our animal feed. Okay, we're going to put you there. And actually, last on our list is going to be our digesters. Okay? So, chickens... because they need to do the eggs and the meat things. The eggs obviously have to go left towards cake. Also, they need to go more directly down to the town. Meat needs to go into meat trimmings, into meat, into meat. Technically, this build probably needs to be flipped. Just due to placement. That's probably going to be better for us in the long run. I think. That means I need to bring salt past. I don't know. We're going to have to work these out one at a time. But then, yes, eventually, right at the end, if we have any excess food that I have, gets turned to animal feed, which then gets fed to the chickens. We also have the excess for any poppy, because, medical is also comes from, we need poppy from the plants to do medical. We haven't worked out medical yet, but we need to make sure that none of the belts back up, so therefore I need to have poppy. I also need to have any excess fruit and veggies, also go into the aromatherapy digester, and then are burnt off here. Okay, so that is our rough plan. Obviously, I'm missing some buckets for sorting, mainly the fruit and veggies bucket, but we can worry about those one at a time. First thing I want to do is I want to come from here. I want to grab our water, which we're going to run straight down the hill as smoothly as possible, because I'm going to possibly need to run things above this. I don't know. And we're going to run you to there. Then we're going to run you to here. And then I'm going to run you straight to that pipe. Okay. which means you're flowing the wrong direction, and you're flowing the wrong direction. Okay, so that is water into our tofu. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Also, I have water going into sugar cane. Also, height 2. We're going to run this all the way through to pretty much there somewhere. Cool. We need to put water into corn mash. So corn mash will also need water. We're going to go from there to there. This is why we made sure that these were always at height 3. That is not water. That is water. I'm sorry, height 2. Height 2. We made sure all the water pipes are at height 2. Whoop, thanks, autosave. So these should be easy to plug in. You're at the wrong height, so you're going to be cooking oil instead. You don't use water, but you do use water all the way up here at the end. Okay. So plug that in there and there. Other direction. Cool. And then finally, chicken farms. Chicken farms, which use an awful lot of water, are going to plug into the end. Probably like that. Because they need to get other things into the chicken farms as well, and also other things out of the chicken farms. All right. So that is going to be plan A. Plan B is I need to start plugging these together. So we have soybeans, which are going to output animal feed. So I need to deal with animal feed. Now, I have a couple of options. I could take animal feed, and I could run it, say, right here underneath the food belt, and I could just... height 2, height 1. I could run the animal feed up and about and out and blah, 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 blah. But that takes one of my planes. I'm going to have a limited amount of planes in here. Planes is what I like to refer them as, because I need to take salt through. I need to take, flour through. I need to take sugar through. I need to take all sorts of different items through this area, and I prefer not to waste them on something stupid like animal feed. So we're going to bring our animal feed out to here, and then I'm going to put it onto this belt, which you might be saying, what the hell are you doing, Jetty? That is an overflow belt. It is an overflow belt. It is 100% an overflow belt. It's an overflow belt we're going to be using for a number of overflows. So we have soybeans at this point. We're going to also pick up... no, I need you... Okay, can I remove that and remove that? All right. I need you to go out from this side so you can pick up new ones easily. Yeah. And we're going to run this through to about here somewhere. Alright. And then I can take my animal feed belt and run this on that side. Alright. So, canola doesn't have an overflow. Sugarcane doesn't have an overflow because I can't turn them into anything else. Corn does have an overflow. So corn can also join this belt as well. We're prioritizing into the bucket as fast as possible, so the bucket should be full. It's only if the bucket is 100% full, and therefore our corn mash is done, also anywhere else corn needs to go, like directly into the town or into our snackaroos, then, the excess will pop out here and join this magical belt. Potatoes, same story. Potatoes also need to join the magical belt. Okay. But before we get any further, I also want to come back and pick up you. You are also outputting animal feed. So animal feed will come through here in a straight line around the edge and plug in there. Cool. That's animal feed done. But you also output the wonderful cooking oil. The wonderful cooking oil we need for just 2 things. But it's a pipe, so it should be easy. So we're going to run a pipe across the top, above everything. Yeah, to here. Because this is cake. This is the last spot we use our cooking oil. So cooking oil should go... pipe, please. Straight in on that. Cool. That is facing the right way? Yeah. And I don't need that bit of pipe. All right. The other place it goes into is snackaroos. Okay. So snackaroos also needs to have cooking oil. Helps forget the right tile. But I can't let cooking oil back up, okay? Because if cooking oil backs up, then therefore my canola's got nowhere to go. So we can, it's over here, we can take our ethanol and our cooking oil, merge the two together, and make diesel. which means I need to sort of make sure that it goes this way as well with our ethanol. Also, sugar gets turned into ethanol, and that is its overflow. It has to go and get turned into, well, something. And the only thing that sugar can be turned into, basically in an infinite supply, is ethanol. Which means if I have too much ethanol and not enough cooking oil, I don't want to be making diesel. So I want to take the cooking oil, the ethanol, and turn it to steam. Which means, well, I need to have a separate overflow for my ethanol. Yeah, I also need to make sure I always have enough cooking oil to run the things that need cooking oil. Which means we need to do some rearranging of things. So first thing is this bucket. This bucket being potatoes. We're going to rip it down. Yes, and we're going to put our potato bucket, well, as far this way as I possibly can. Can you put a belt into there and a belt into there? Cool. So that's our new potato bucket. It's like the old potato bucket, just better. Cool. That goes away. Right. Which means I can now have enough room in here to put in a fluid storage. Just a little one, because I wouldn't want to go overboard. And we're going to put that right about there. Also means that I'm going to put in a pipe balancer right here. Cool. Pipe balancer is going to come from our... It's the top one. Is our cooking oil. So we're going to go, well, from there into the balancer. We're then going to go into the tank. And then rather than cooking oil coming off the main line, it's going to come out of the tank into, well, that convenient connector right there. So this becomes cooking oil, and it becomes, well, all the cooking oil. All the cooking oil goes in there. If the tank of cooking oil is full and we still have extra cooking oil, well, that's the point. It's going to come over here, and it's going to go wherever ethanol and cooking oil go together to make diesel. So biodiesel, yay. All right, we can build that. We can build that pipe because we know what that pipe does. We can build the water pipe because we know what the water pipe does. Yep. I just want to build the main branch. I don't really want to build the ones that go back that way because they're still subject to change. We might move things left. We might move things right. That can be built as well. All right. So that gets us cooking oil done. Nope, that one. Cool, that gets us cooking oil done. That gets our animal feed from our first couple of builds. Next build is biomass. Now, biomass, I've already got animal feed flowing on this wonderful belt of crap. I'd be an idiot to put biomass on the same belt, but that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to put them on the same belt, and we'll just filter them out later. It's just going to be easier in the long run. Also means, like I said, I don't use one of these precious lanes. You are also animal feed, who I would have loved to run through that gap, but that gap doesn't exist anymore. So you're going to go into there instead. All right. Then we have snacks. Snacks is going to have bio waste, which will come out here and go into our belt that doesn't exist. All right. So after we've got our belts and our overflows, I need to, at probably this point, yeah, this point. Okay, at this point, I need to sort of expand how many belts we're going to have coming out of our overflow belt. Can I cut that? We're going to bring that down into there. We'll take potato and run potato straight in. But I think at this point I'm definitely going to need 2 belts worth. If I can work out how to get the wheat to merge into this mess. Go away. Can I run... No. Can I run there to there? Just belt. Oh my gosh. Delete. So you would go there to the... There you go. All right. And then wheat. No. Okay, if I moved you one more tile, then I could get wheat to come out, around, and into there, which means I can have now 2 output belts, which is going to be very, very handy. You can still come straight through, and you can come into there. Cool. Which is now double my throughput. Also means that I can prioritize everything to the far right-hand belt, because I'm still adding stuff to the other belt. Yeah, there to there. Okay, so that should be all my overflows worked out. You don't need a priority. You would have your priority on the left instead. And I think that's fine. So, going back to the start, we have that not plugged in. Okay, we have... okay, we have soybean. Soybean goes this way, onto our great overflow belt, which is then met by corn, which is added to our overflow, and then potato, which adds to our overflow, which then goes through a balancer, so we can take it up to 2 belts, which is then added to by the wheat, yes, which will also join our overflow. And then we're pretty much out of things to overflow, because we have our soybean, we have our corn, we have our wheat, we have our potato. They all go into making animal feed. Obviously, I've added more garbage to it, being, well, animal feed and also the biomass, which I'll have to pull off. But you also have animal feed. Okay, so you have animal feed as well. And I think, which I'm probably just going to run that way. I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. That is it for those sorted. So they're at least sorted. They're at least sorted. They're at least together. I still haven't done the flat belts. The flat belts haven't been done. We also are missing many things like salt and plastic and the list goes on, which means we have room in the next episode to add more things. Add more things. Add many, many more things. Also upgrade many, many farms. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also means that I have an opportunity to remind you that this weekend, the details are more details. More details are on the community tab on the channel. You should go check it out if you want more details. But myself and my partner, we're celebrating, well, me being a Twitch partner for a number of years now. I think it's 6, 5, 4, whatever. Been a Twitch partner for a couple of years. Also sort of celebrating 30,000 subscribers here at YouTube. So we're doing a Factorio playthrough, which I highly recommend that you go over there and look at all the details, because I've played 10,000 hours with Factorio, and she's played about 0. She's looked at it for 10 seconds and said, no, never. The good news is she's playing it with me this weekend. The bad news is I'm not allowed to build anything, and the best I can do is offer helpful advice. The even better news is we're starting at the start of the game at Burner City, and we're going all the way through to launching a rocket. So it could be a very long, a very interesting stream. Either way, I invite you to join me over there. And with all that said and done, this is where I need to leave this episode. We can come back next episode with more food processing. A lot more food processing. An awful lot of food processing. Also means I can try and work out exactly how many belts I need to feed through this plane right here. And then once they're in theory, we can build everything. Also means, in theory, I can turn on a lot of farms. But with all that said and done, I need to leave this video here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I'll see you in the very next video, and I hope to see you on the weekend over at Twitch live stream. Many hours of well, teaching somebody how to play Factorio from start to end. Yes, so as always, thank you for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. See you in the very next video. All right, bye.